What? I know we've made camp. Normally when I sit down and we have a fire going and food, normally means we've made camp. I'm very observant of you, Outworlder. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna keep calling you that. You're kidding when it's not just us. Start thinking of a name, by the way. Don't worry about trying to sound like you're from here. Everyone's gonna know that you're not. So we'll just say you're some friend I picked up on the... Trust me, it'll be easier that way. Yeah. I knew that's what you were hinting at. Fine. I'll tell you my long, drawn-out, very boring story. If that's what you want. Well, it all started when my mother met my father. I'm kidding. I'm not going that far back. Don't worry. Fast forward past them abandoning me. Years of long, hard training. Countless failed friendships, families, and everything else in between. Landed me in the service of a very powerful person. The High Ruler of Illidor. Yes. You know, crown, nice robes, big chair, lots of guards. Yes. Royalty. Nothing. I'm still wrapping my head around this whole "you're not from this world" idea that you keep pushing. Still not sure if I believe it. Yeah. Well, you have to admit, it sounds crazy. As a matter of fact, you did admit that it sounds crazy. You're still trying to convince me. Right. Don't worry, I'm not trying to derail the story. Well, I am very high up in the food chain, I guess, is what you'd say. I clean up most of the messes that he cleaned up. Well, I'm very good at what I do. There was an uprising in the far north. So I went and dealt with that. No, not what you think. They wanted to impose more taxes on people. They wanted to do horrid things without having to consult anyone. I think you misunderstand what we do in Villanor. We don't rule anyone. We keep the peace. And something like that would have disrupted the peace heavily. They revolted, threw down their banners, denounced the royalty. and took up arms against us. They had the confidence of numbers, but they also had the ignorance of it. They marched blindly into a fog that I made. There was nothing they could do. Those that didn't go mad from the mist-induced blindness, not being able to see more than a foot in front of them at a time, never left. You don't have to be afraid of me, Kelly. I'm not gonna do anything to you. Plus, I already promised to keep you safe. I would never break my promise to you. Okay? I promised that you'd be safe with me. And one kitty could not disrupt the peace. You're safe. Probably safer than anyone, honestly. Because I've grown fond of you, kitty. We've only been traveling for probably around 6-ish hours together. But in that short time, I've come to thinking very fondly of you. If I can get you home, I'll get you there. But like I said before, if I can't, you won't have to live in fear. Ever. You can live comfortably. Now what you do with that is your own choice. That's really all I'm going to say on it. Right, story, yeah. Sorry. Well, I told you how I dismantled that. But I wasn't going to leave the mess there for people to have to clean up. So I piled them all up. Made sure to leave no trace behind. Prevents things like diseases, monsters from the woods, from wandering too close to the settlements. I don't fault the citizens for the misguided judgment of their rulers. Mm-hmm. The ones who fled from the fall. They're getting treatment. They'll be okay eventually. The stress of everything got them. So they're in a state of protecting themselves. They'll be okay. You're sweet, kitty. I'm glad you don't think I'm so scary. You should really get some rest. What? Oh. Fine. My family died when I was very young. Barely old enough to take care of myself at that point. I survived on my own in the woods for 5 years before some wandering group of mercenaries found me. At first I thought it'd just be funny, mess with me, throw me a bone every once in a while. But the head of the group, a wonderful lady, kind of like the mother I never had, decided to take me in, raised me as her own, trained me, taught me everything I know. I learned a lot more since, but she raised me. Like my previous family, they were taken from me too. Ambushed from a revolting city. I was away on a mission, couldn't do anything to help. Her orders. Thought it was time for me to earn my keep. It was supposed to be a celebration. Instead, it was one of the worst days of my life. This is hers. It's part of her armor. Obviously, I couldn't wear the full set, but I keep part of it with me at all times. I'll never forget. The city? I don't want to talk about it. I'll say I never want to be that version of me ever again. I hope. Anyway, I think both of us are long overdue for some sleep. What do you say? I need sweet dreams.